Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Kaduna State to commission a developmental project carried out by the state government under the administration of Governor Basani. The president touched down at the Mondo Military Airport in Kaduna State at 1:27 p.m. local time. President Tinubu was received by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin, the host Governor Ubasadi, and the Emir of Zauzau, Ahmed Nuhu Omri. President Bola Tinubu has set up a committee to help restore sustainable peace to Benue State following last Friday's massacre in Yalwata community in Guma local government area of Benue State, which saw around 200 people killed. Members of the Peace Committee selected by the President include former military governor of Benue State, retired General Atom Berry, Senator George Akume, Senator Gabriel Soswan, and Samuel Otom, all of whom are former Benue governors. Tinubu urged Governor Alia to champion the activities of the Peace Community, which also includes federal officials and non-indigents living in the state. In a related development, President Bola Tinubu has directed security agencies to take decisive action against criminal elements responsible for the ongoing attack in Benue State. Our correspondent Felicity Indere reports from Markali.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu arrived Benue State days after the latest attacks on the state by insurgents. Then he proceeded to the Benue State University Teaching Hospital for a brief stopover where he met with victims of the recent attacks. President Tinubu emphasized his administration resolve to tackle security crises head-on and calls for the formation of a peace committee and pledged full support for Benue State government's efforts to restore peace.
I expect there should be arrests of those criminals. Christopher, I know you can't be tired of staying in the bush, and Oloyede and Pasha, thank all of you, but we need to keep our ears to the ground. Let's get those criminals, let's get them out.
Governor Hyacinth earlier thanked the president for visiting and called for the creation of a community support fund to assist displaced persons. He also renewed the call for the establishment of state police to strengthen internal security.
The federal government to consider establishing a special intervention fund for communities affected by these incessant attacks in Benue State.
For the paramount ruler of the Tiv Nation, Professor James Ayate, the violence in Benue is not merely a case of farmer herders clashes, but a well-orchestrated assault on his people. He appealed to the president to end what he described as genocide and reaffirmed the loyalty and support of the Tiv Nation to the federal government.
Remain tolerant, negotiate for peace, learn to live with your neighbors. What we are dealing with here in Benue is a calculated, well-planned, full-scale genocidal invasion and land grabbing campaign.
As the president concludes his visit, stakeholders stress the need for sincere dialogue and practical steps, not political rhetoric, to halt the continued killings and displacement in Benue communities. In Makudi, Felicity Ndere, Global TV News.
Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has lambasted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for turning his condolence visit to Benue into a fanfare. In a post on his X handle, Obi frowned at the president's choice of Agbada attire and the atmosphere that trailed his visit to the state, noting that such fanfare contradicts the gravity of the tragedies that struck Benue and Niger State. Obi maintained that the president should have appeared in mourning clothes rather than adorned himself in his usual Agbada regalia, given the situation of things on the ground. Salem Benue State Coordinator of the National Youth Service Corps, Veronica Garba, said that Corps members in crisis area have been evacuated into family houses in Makurdi. The coordinator said that as soon as they heard about the crisis, the management communicated with the police, who evacuated the Corps members from both Yellowwater and Dauda areas. Garba said the Corps members were instantly settled at their family houses, including offices of the Nigerian Corpus Christian Fellowship, National Association of Catholic Corps Members, and Muslim Corpus Association of Nigeria. Let's turn to another story now. Wife of Abia State Governor Priscilla Oti says the state will continue to protect the right of widows and vulnerable women to inherit landed properties in order to enable them to be strong economically, which will further enhance their standard of living. The governor's wife spoke during an event to mark the 2025 International Widows' Day in Umuahia, the state capital. The Abia First Lady, who was represented by the wife of the Deputy Governor, Adeze Emeto, stated that the theme of this year's celebration, Beyond Reason, Rebuilding Lives, Strengthening Communities, and Challenging Stigma, was timely as it sought to address the numerous economic and social problems which can erode their dignity and potential of many widows. The Gaya Emirate Council in Kano State has withdrawn the traditional title of Wazirin Gaya from a former secretary to the Kano State government and chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Alhaji Usman Alhaji. Usman Alhaji served as a secretary to the state government in former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje's administration. Although the emirate did not give a specific reason for the decision, the move comes days after the former secretary to the state government under the banner of the APC Patriotic Volunteers accused Governor Abba Yusuf New Nigerian People's Party-led administration of lacking direction, competence, and clear policy initiatives. Former Vice President Namadi Sambo has officially decamped from the opposition People's Democratic Party PDP to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Sambo served as Vice President of Nigeria from 19th May 2010 to 29th May 2015 under the Goodluck Jonathan administration. Having served as Governor of Kaduna State from 2007 to 2010, Sambo became the latest high-profile politician to dump the PDP for APC in the build-up to the 2027 general elections. The Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has granted the senator representing Kogi Central, Senatorial District Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan bail in the sum of 50 million naira and one surety who must be a person of reasonable integrity, resident in FCT Abuja and owns a landed property within the Abuja Municipal Area Council. The Nigerian Senate has vowed to closely monitor the disbursement and implementation of 1.48 trillion naira budget submitted by the sole administrator of Rivers State, retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, as part of its oversight responsibility under the current emergency rule in the state. Speaking during a budget defense session at the National Assembly on Thursday, the chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee of the Oversight of Emergency Governance in Rivers, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, assured Nigerians that the legislative will ensure that every naira allocated in the 2025 appropriation bill delivers tangible results. The Nigerian Air Force, operating under Operation Hadikay, has destroyed an explosive device factory, terrorist gun truck, and eliminated dozens of fighters in Walteri within the Timbuktu 10 Triangle area of Borno. This was contained in a statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore Ehime Ejodame in Abuja. Ejodame said the airstrike executed on Wednesday followed intelligence reports of terrorist activities in the area. He said that the surveillance confirmed the presence of an IED marking site and vehicles which were struck in precision passes by the Nigerian Air Force aircraft. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, governors decry World Bank's delay in NG Care's funding committee. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
You are welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, President Bola Tinubu is expected in Kaduna State today for the inauguration of several key developmental projects executed by the administration of Governor Uba Sani. The project lined up for inauguration include a 300-bed specialist hospital in Millennium City, Kaduna, built by the state government to bolster the provision of healthcare services. Tinubu will also inaugurate the Institutes of Vocational Training and Skills Development in Rigachukwu Road project in Nigeria now have direct access to revenue generated from unstructured supplementary service data, popularly called USSD services, following a new billing arrangement approved by the Nigerian Communications Commission and the Central. We apologize for that very quick break. News Cycle continues. Telecommunications operators in Nigeria now have direct access to revenue generated from unstructured supplementary service data, popularly called USSD services, following the new billing arrangement approved by the Nigerian Communications Commission and the Central Bank of Nigeria. The new model, known as the End-User Billing Framework, allows the telecoms operators to deduct USSD service charges directly from subscribers' airtime balances, eliminating the role of banks as intermediaries in the payment process. Mobile operators had complained that banks were collecting service fees from customers without remitting the funds to operators, despite having received over 200 billion naira worth of services by the end of 2024. Governors across Nigeria have expressed concern over World Bank's delay in fulfilling its financial commitment under the Nigerian Community Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus, also known as NG Cares program. Despite $2.2 billion investment made by the 36 states, NG Cares is a World Bank-supported initiative which stands for Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus. It is designed to mitigate the economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic on vulnerable households and businesses. The program aims to restore livelihoods, improve food security, and support the recovery of micro and small enterprises, MSES. On the foreign news now, a nurse has been sentenced to life in prison for killing 5 babies and attempting to murder 8 others at a hospital in Argentina. Brenda Cecilia Aguero injected potassium and insulin into newborns between March and June 2002, taking doses from emergency medical charts without inventory control, prosecutors said. Under Argentine law, Aguero would not be eligible for parole before serving 35 years. The India Airline chairman says one of the engines of the Air Indian plane that crashed last week was new, while the other was not due for servicing until December. In an interview, Natarajan said both engines of the aircraft had clean histories. At least 270 people, most of them passengers, were killed last Thursday when AI-171, a London-bound Boeing 7878 Dreamliner crashed less than a minute after taking off from Ahmedabad Airport in western India. The United States government says it will resume student and exchange visitor visa processing, but with a new requirement that all applicants must make their social media profiles public for vetting. In a statement released by the U.S. Department of State, authorities and applicants for academic, vocational, and exchange nominees grant visas will undergo more extensive screening, including a review of their online presence. The department noted that the U.S. visa is a privilege, not a right, and that visa adjudications are national security decisions. And in sports stories, now newly promoted French La Ligue 1 side Paris FC have reached an agreement with FC Nantes for the transfer of Nigerian international Moses Simon. Moses has been a key target for Paris FC this summer as they look to straighten a squad that will be playing in La Ligue 1 for the first time in 46 years. The deal to land the 29-year-old is said to be around 7 million euros, Quest France, and previously reported that Paris had sent a bid to around 5 million euros for the forward. However, Foot Mercato writes that this fell short of Matiz's expectations. The Professional Footballers Association has announced the top 6 finalists for the 2025 Young Player of the Year award, highlighting a standout group of emerging talents who have impressed across the Premier League and beyond last season. The nominees include Liam Delap, Dean Hudson, Marlos Kekes, Melis Lewis Shelley, Ethan Wanari, and Morgan Rogers. Each players have earned recognition for their contributions to their respective clubs with standout performances that undergo the growing influence on the pitch. Now that's it on Global TV News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @GlobalTVNG. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good evening. Do you know that Global Television